Hello everybody and welcome back to Reduced Retail. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we have an item that's a little bit different than a lot of the other items that I've done before, and it's essentially a survival wristband. It's a bracelet that has all types of different survival items in it. In all, there's about 19 different things you can do with this very basic bracelet, including the paracord on there that's about 12 feet of 550 pounds per inch. So, as you can see in the Amazon listing, it has about 100 and some reviews on it. At $11.99, not a bad price, but let's kind of dig into the actual bracelet and see exactly just how high quality the items are that you're going to be using. It includes anything from a fishing hook all the way to there should be a knife. There's obviously a compass. You have all of the paracord that comes with it and just so many other different items. I was really interested just to review these and see how far they have come along. These have become really popular. There's all types of different ones you can purchase. I found this one. I just went ahead and wanted to review it and see, a lot of them are really the same. A lot of them come from a lot of similar actual manufacturers. They're just branded differently. So let's just see how good this one actually is. So if we open it up here, again, it's gonna be pretty basic. Just pull it out. Actually, pretty nice little packaging that it comes in. Doesn't take up too much space, yet it does house everything pretty efficiently. So that's pretty nice. They got their little barcode there from Amazon. I did, again, as you saw in the listing, buy this from Amazon. That's where I get most of my stuff. Happy? Not happy. Okay, so this might be a customer satisfaction. Yeah, so of course they're asking you to write a product review. We will see how good it is and see if they deserve that product review. Again, at $11.99, it's not too expensive, but there's a lot of competition in this category. So I have seen some of the other ones that they offer. So this does need to actually, have a lot of good attributes to it if we want to really give this the green light as a good purchase or not. So first thing here is, I believe this might be a whistle. Yep. So this is a whistle, very easy to get to, which is kind of nice. And I am assuming maybe that's how you do the bracelet. Maybe it comes through here actually. Yep. Should have known that. So that's how you put the bracelet on. I have just an average size hand. I was able to slip it on there, but even if you had a larger, thicker wrist, it's gonna be size fits most unless you have a really small hand. And then even then, it looks like you actually, so you actually, I believe, can change the size of it. So if you did have a smaller wrist, you could tie this up, and then you could make it a little bit smaller. So far so good. Whistle does work. Now we have a compass here. Now one thing I've been noticing since we've been using it is the compass does not seem to work that well. And if I'm looking at this correctly, and I believe I am, that's incorrect. North and south are backwards. It keeps finding this direction, which is what it should be doing, which is staying consistent. So every time I move it, north wants to find this way, but I think the magnets they've put in this are backwards because that is north and it keeps saying south, and this is south, which keeps saying north. Again, I don't know exactly how they do the magnets and build these compasses, but I'm guessing because it is magnets and it does use the magnetic field of north, you could install it backwards. So my thinking is I would have to know everything is backwards. That's not great. So we'll keep that in mind because that's kind of a bummer. But a lot of people that are survivalists, they will actually have a true nice compass because compasses are pretty important to use. Again, this seems to be technically working because that is north, this is south. So it's backwards, but it is finding it relatively efficiently. So I think it technically works, but they've put it backwards. So that's something. So let's see. I believe everything is housed within the paracord. So let's just see what we have. Let's go ahead and start untangling this and see all of the different items. Alrighty, and we are done. So it did take a little bit of time to actually get the internal components out of the paracord. Now, one thing you should remember is a lot of times these are designed to be a one-time use. You purchase this, go on a camp outing, and this is to kind of help you in technically a situation where you run out of supplies or you get in a tough spot. And it has some of the basic needs to survive. Again, a survivalist bracelet. That's the whole point. So as you can see, I took it apart. It has the paracord. The problem is if you wanted to put this back together, I see how you can put this in the internal and you can run this bracelet back together. You can just put it back together, but it would take some serious time. And you would want to make sure if you used anything, you replenished the internals. Now, the next thing I will say is it is all housed in this sleeve that is actually completely sewn together. Let's go ahead and open that. Alrighty, we finally have the internals out of the sleeve that it came with. And it's all in kind of a waterproof bag, which is a nice feature. That means if you were to get this soaking, this is all gonna stay fairly dry for the most part. Except it does look like the outside it's not actually fully closed. So water technically will still get in there. But it's kind of nice that it's got an outer kind of casing that will give you a little bit of protection from water. So let's just see if we can get this out without, I don't want to have to cut this open. Alrighty, and we have finally got all of the pieces apart. I did actually end up having to cut this apart. It's pretty mangled now. So keep in mind, this is a one-time use survival kit. Once you use it, this isn't gonna do you much good. You could technically put stuff back in the sleeve. The problem is then your hooks are gonna catch. So let's go ahead and review exactly what it came with. Again, you get about 12 feet of paracord. That's nice. The whistle is nice. You have kind of a serrated edge here, so you could cut something, you could kind of whittle something, so that's kind of nice. And you can tuck it back this way so that it's not exposed, because that could actually cut you. It's not as sharp as a real nice high quality knife, but it could get the job done if you needed it to do so. So let's see what actually comes in the internals. So you get this little bag, and this is actual fishing line. So fishing hooks, fishing line is very standard stuff that comes in these kits. So as you kind of look in here, the bag actually kind of came mangled a little bit, which I'm not too shocked. But what I was really interested in is the test of the line, seeing how good. I'm sure it's gonna be a very basic test. It's not gonna be really strong line. But really what's also important is that the hooks are not too cheap. They're not too generic. We need some hooks that will, if you're in a survival situation, not fail you. So it looks like the hooks are actually already on there, which is kind of nice. They're already ready to go. And I would say you probably get close to 10 feet of line. So you could hang them off, a branch or something. Now the hooks are pretty small. I was expecting to be small, but that is tiny. That's a tiny hook. So you're gonna be fishing for some tiny stuff, which a lot of times that's probably, you're not gonna be looking to find the 10-pound catfish at the bottom of the pond that you're fishing in if you are in a situation like that. But it does come with that. Not the greatest line though. I can tell that, I can't, it's not like it's nimble. It's not gonna break in my fingers. It hasn't eroded in the bag. That's one of the nice things that this bag has actually protected it. But again, this is new, so how good that will hold up. So the other thing you get is you get a alcohol pad. And this is one pad. At least if you cut yourself, you'd have an alcohol pad. Let's just go ahead and open it up. There's really no reason. This is pretty much a one-time use, I'm expecting. And it is an alcohol pad. It is wet, so it would be useful, but very small. You can see my finger on there, and I can smell the alcohol. It says it's 70%. So if you were to cut yourself to keep something from getting infected, you could put that in there, and you could even put it back in this tube maybe if you really were, you know, in a bad situation. So let's see here. Then we have like a little gauze here, which I have no idea how they've done this. It's kind of just rolled up, kind of a crappy gauze in all honesty. So there. Then you get 2 of these. And you get for the fishing, so you can throw, I guess, you know, you can throw your ends from, you could use some of this and then have your, so you can interchange out different baits and stuff quickly. And then it's even got one of these lines. These are extremely cheap. It does have a weight, kind of nice. At least they give you a weight. But these I would not even trust at all. I wouldn't even use these little. This would be using one of these. They feel so flimsy. I feel like once you could maybe use them a time or two, but you'd want to be real careful because I feel like that would be your weakest link point. So overall, as I kind of look at this, there are a lot of options out there. And I think after doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and find a high quality survival bracelet, something that you can take on the go and review it compared to this, because I'm not going to give this a great rating. It technically did what it said. It has a whistle, it has a little bit of a knife on there, it has the paracord, but a really important feature of survival is the internals, and these internals are kind of crappy. I'm not really that impressed with them. In a lot of higher end units, you can actually reuse, restock, resupply those items. So bear that in mind, that once you pretty much use this is a one-time thing. Now, it is $12, so if you were in a survivalist spot, you're not going to be worried about replacing this if you had to use all this and then just had to toss it. I get that point. The problem is if you had to survive on this, would you want to? No, I think you would want to pay a little bit more money and buy a higher quality survivalist kit. So if you are serious about having to use this stuff, if you're really going on a real camping trip that had the potential in some situation to have to use this, I would say find something else. So we are going to go find that. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. I would not really recommend it unless it's just kind of a fun little gadget to have around the house. I'll put a link in the description, but probably not what everybody's looking for. What we will do is we're going to review a higher quality item and see if maybe that's a little bit better. We'll go search out one, find one with higher reviews. It'll be at a higher price point than this, obviously, but let's just compare it to this. You guys can watch this video. At the end of it, I'll even link the new video once I get it posted to this video. So as you guys are watching this, you'll be able to see the newer video of a better survivalist bracelet kit, whatever I ended up finding. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all of the support. You guys are great and awesome. Have a great day as well. Take care.